everyone, it's Cheryl from Teaching 2 and 3-year-olds. We just finished our second week of school, and so that was transportation. And as I said in my previous video, we don't normally start with transportation, but this year we decided to do that because we realized that is such a favorite, and it really did help with separation anxiety and everything else, because so many children love the different transportation vehicles and the activities that go with it. So we wrapped that up, and now we're moving into the farm. And usually we do farm in October, but we've kind of moved that up a little bit. So, you know, we do that, we tweak things, as I mentioned all the time. But before I start about our farm theme, I just wanted to give you a little idea of how our first 2 weeks went. And as I mentioned before, this year we decided to have half the class come on the first day and the other half of the class come on the second day. And it made a world of difference. So we only had 5 each day, and I felt like we really could get to know them better and really work on some things that might have been a little harder to do if we had had the whole class. And I have to say, I'm almost afraid to jinx it, but this class, we have had like maybe a few tears when they first walked in, and that was it. And I like to call it humming. They literally spread out all over the classroom during centers time, and they're actually playing together already, which usually we don't see this early. And you know, that's why I say you have to tweak things each year after you get to know the personality of your classroom. And I can already see that I'm going to be adding a lot more sooner than I normally would, because this particular class can handle it. They are already handling things that normally I would not be putting out. So that's why I say observe, observe, observe. See how they're using the materials. See what if there's behavior issues that are happening or whatever, and tweak, tweak, tweak. Every year is so different. Your class is going to be so different from the classroom next door. That's why you can't compare. So get to know your students and work your environment and your activities for them and how they are handling it. So I just have to say that the other thing that has been a huge plus is that we started on the very first day showing them how to do everything. And by the second week, the children already, it was like, wow. I mean, when they were done with their snack, several of them remembered without being needed to be reminded to pick up their plate, their paper plate, and put it in the trash. And it was just amazing. So, and that was because we really, really worked with every single thing we do. How we wash hands, what do we do when we go to circle time? What do we do when we go to the gym? And so I made sure to do those same things each time, because children of this age absolutely love and need repetition. So that's why I can't stress enough, you want to get that started from the very first day. So now that I am moving on to the farm theme, I thought I'd show you a few things. First of all is what we'll be doing during circle time. I wanted to remind you that I do have my Spotify playlists, and so I think the farm theme is, I think some of the farm songs are in my October playlist. I'm gonna have to double check, and I will drop that link into this video's description. But as I said before, I love using Spotify, and I'm not affiliated with them, but I just love using them because it's easy for me to just have all of the different playlists ready to go, and then I have my Bluetooth speaker and I just turn it on and away we go. So I've made it public for all of you. Again, I will drop that link in the description. And then some of the books that we are going to be reading, 2-year-olds especially love books that have these buttons that you can hear the different animals. So Quack, Moo, Oink, Let's Listen on the Farm. And then we have Good Night Cow, Peppa at the Petting Farm, and Night Night Farm. And I'll put the links to all these again in the video description as well. And as you can see, I am still very fond of board books. A lot of these books I actually bought last year when I was doing virtual teaching because I liked their size and it was easy to hold in front of the screen. So I'm just continuing to use them in the classroom. And I also have my little farm finger puppets. And if these are still on Amazon, because I bought these I think 4 years ago, I will drop a link in the description. It's Old MacDonald Had a Farm finger puppets. And then I also have this Old MacDonald prop set. Now this is part of our song and rhymes kit that's on Teachers Pay Teachers. This is volume 1 that has been so popular. And what I did, there's several different ways you can use this. What I did was I laminated, I cut them out and laminated them, and I taped them onto jumbo popsicle sticks. So then I say, and on this farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O. So we have the farm animals here. They've been cut out and laminated, taped to the popsicle sticks. And we have there's our barn right there. So and you can do this different ways. You could also do this as a flannel board activity. You can do this as a magnetic board activity. You could do this as a table activity where they tell you what animals they're putting in the barn, just placing it on top. But I love to use these for circle time with the song Old MacDonald Had a Farm. And it just comes like this. And I just copied it onto cardstock, cut them out. So that is what we will be doing during our circle time. And then I also wanted to share that we are going to be doing a little Play-Doh. I'm going to have at their seat that they can do. So we're going to go ahead and just give them individual tubs of Play-Doh. And then I have these little farm animals that I'm going to give them each a couple that they can press into the Play-Doh. So I just bought these, so I'll drop a link to both of these actually in the video description. And let's see, then as far as an art activity, we are going to be doing Muddy Pigs. I already have this post on the website because we've done this before, but they love it because you basically take this is a free printable template, and you just put it inside the bag. And then I just put some brown paint and shaving cream in there, seal it up, and then they're just gonna pat it. But you can see the whole thing when you go to the blog post. There's even a video showing how the children have done that. So check that out. And another thing that we are going to be doing is taking farm animals and painting them and walking them on paper. Then they're going to take them over to our activity table that's going to have cups of water and little brushes, and then they're going to clean them off. So extra fine motor. So that's going to be another activity that they are going to be doing. Another activity is I have this free barn printable. I'll drop a link in the video description. It's on the website. They're going to paint that red, and then they have some farm animal stickers that they can peel off and then stick to the barn after it is dry. And a couple of table activities that we have these farm number puzzles, and I keep one copy whole, and then I make another copy and I cut the strips apart. And for the younger children, they can just match the strips on top. And then once they get that down, you can remove this and they can just look at the numbers or look at how the animal is, and they can put the strips together without having help. So there are actually 3 of them that are here, and these are free, and these are also on the website. Again, I'll drop the link in the video description. Another, this is a new packet that we have, and we're actually going to be doing, I'm going to use different ones of these, different pages, all during the fall. This is something that is new on Teachers Pay Teachers, and it is, they are pom-pom fall shapes, and the children look at the colors of the pom-poms. You just buy your big old bag like this, like I did, take out the colors that you need, and then they can either use their fingers or they can use tweezers to put the pom-poms on top, one-to-one correspondence. Again, this is a brand new fall pack that we have on Teachers Pay Teachers. I will drop a link to this in the description, actually. So all of this, if you just go to the description, I often will get comments asking me, where do I find the links? They're always in the video description. So just when you're done watching, go down to the video description and you will find the links to all of these. And then I also wanted to remind you that if you are looking for some help, I helped make these fall activity plans. These are for preschoolers ages 3 to 5. There are 24 different activities. And then this is the one for toddlers. There's 20 different activities. So these are, if you just are wanting the work done for you as far as what to do, I helped create these along with a team of early childhood educators and homeschoolers. I'll drop the links to these in the description as well. So let me just kind of show you what we have in our classroom for our farm theme. Over on the light table, I have our numbered barns, and then there are animals that have the matching number. So the children find the animal, they look at the number on the animal and they put it inside the same numbered barn. These are from Melissa and Doug. And then over in the sensory bin, I was going to change it so that it had something different as the filler. But again, this is where observing the children makes all the difference. They loved the kinetic sand so much. Now remember, I said I didn't think I was going to put the sensory bin out last week, but I had it available just in case they were ready, and they were more than ready for it. They loved the kinetic sand so much that I knew they weren't done with it yet. So I decided to keep that as the filler. I kept the same scoops in there. I just simply took out the transportation vehicles from last week, the construction, and I replaced it with these little barns and these little farm animals. So they will be happy to still have their kinetic sand. I just changed out the pieces that go with it. Over on our writing table, we have my farm color pages. Now, in addition to color pages, I always make sure to have plain paper as well, because a lot of children love to draw their own pictures, and I encourage that. And throughout the week, depending how things go, I might bring out our farm chunky stamps, or I might add some stickers. But I kind of wait to see how the children are using that area before I actually do that. In our block area, I have put some of our barns in there, and the little farm scene. We've got our tractors and our animals and our farmers. So that is what's going on in the block area. And of course, we also have our unit blocks with loose play. They often will take those and add those, or they might take those unit blocks and do them on the floor. And then over in our dramatic play area, we have a little country breakfast going on with our breakfast food. Again, still keeping things simple in that area. And then in our science area, fall is the time to explore a sunflower. So we have this one here, and they're going to explore it. I'm going to pick up another one. I'm going to try to see if I can find one that actually has more seeds in it. And then some of our table activities are some, again, I already mentioned the farm animals, the numbered farm animals. That's the free printable. And then we also have some farm puzzles. And then I also put out our fine motor shape activity, doing the square. I like to put a different shape out each time. And then I have some buttons that they can put in each circle. And this is a free printable that is on the blog. I'll drop a link in the description. And then over on the easel, we have the same pig that we're using for our muddy pigs. So that is how we have our classroom set up for the farm theme, and that will be for 2 weeks. I will be sharing more videos with you soon, so make sure that you are subscribing to Teaching 2 and 3-year-olds on YouTube, and make sure to click that bell icon. That way, every time I publish a new video, you don't have to go searching for it. it lets you know. And I will be back soon to share more with you. I hope you're all having a good school year. I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.